Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are still working on King John, and we are still in the scene that in the folio is known as Act 1, Scene 2, and in lots of other versions is known as Act 2, Scene 1, but getting beyond that. So this has been quite a scene. We are in Angiers in France, and King John came to go to war because France is backing Arthur, who actually has a more legitimate claim to the throne, and there was lots of sniping at one another back and forth until they decided they would leave it up to the people to decide who is the proper king. So King John said his piece, and then the King of France said his piece, and then token citizen Hubert said, we're gonna bow to whoever's the King of England, but that's up to you guys to figure that out. And then there was more sniping back and forth from the French side and from the English side, and they decided they have to actually go fight a war to figure out who's gonna be the king. So they go to just outside the city of Angiers. They're fighting. Meanwhile, Hubert and the other citizens are still on stage. So it's kind of a weird sort of reverse Greek chorus thing where there is actually stuff happening on stage, but the people that it needs to most affect are there on stage. But anyway, so Hubert and his guys are hanging out, and ladies are hanging out, and there's some fighting happening off stage, and then the French Herald, who we get to hear from today, the French Herald comes running in and says, "You men of Angiers, open wide your gates, and let young Arthur, Duke of Britain, in, who by the hand of France this day hath made much work for tears in many an English mother, whose sons lie scattered on the bleeding ground. Many a widow's husband groveling lies, coldly embracing the discolored earth, and victory with little loss doth play upon the dancing banners of the French, who are at hand triumphantly displayed to enter conquerors and to proclaim Arthur of Britain, England's king and yours." So the French Herald basically claims that Arthur and the French have won, but then tomorrow an English herald comes running in immediately afterwards and has a few other things to say. So it's a short one today, but I'll see you tomorrow when we get to hear from the English herald and find out if Arthur is actually now officially the King of England and France. I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah.